a complete and total ceasefire between Israel and Iran. President Trump making that declaration effective right now in local time.
Iran continued military operations against Israel until the very last minute, and Israel agreed on the condition that Iran would stop its strikes. This comes after Iran launched an attack on the largest U.S. military base in the Middle East today. That attack was intercepted and was in response to the U.S.'s strikes on key Iranian nuclear sites over the weekend. Today, Qatar helped the U.S. broker a ceasefire after nearly 2 weeks of conflict. At least 950 people have died in Iran and more than 3,000 people are hurt, while in Israel, at least 24 people have died. Tomorrow, the Senate will hear the intelligence community's assessment of the president's statement that his airstrikes on Iran obliterated the country's nuclear program.
Leaders in Colorado now reacting. Senator Michael Bennet says after the briefing tomorrow, the Senate will have an opportunity to scrutinize the necessary steps to prevent Iran from obtaining a nuclear weapon. And Representative Lauren Boebert says, quote, "I commend President Trump's unparalleled leadership in brokering this historic ceasefire. His art of the deal approach has finally brought peace to the Middle East." Tonight, we are hearing from a professor at the University of Colorado who left her hometown of Tehran 20 years ago.
Your reporter Gabrielle Vidal joining us in studio tonight. And Gabby, you spoke with this professor about how it feels to have her family in the middle of all this.
Yeah, she's here, but her family's back there, so it's just as scary for her even being abroad. Now, for Iranians who've been living or having family members still living under the Islamic Republic, they've witnessed everything from mass killings to oppression or imprisonment from that regime. So it might feel initially hopeful to see the Islamic Republic power weaken through these airstrikes, but one Iranian professor tells me it's these kinds of actions that could leave the country far worse than it was.
It's a baggage of mixed emotions.
20 years since UC Boulder professor Shideh Dashti left her hometown in Tehran, a city that sits just north of one of the 3 nuclear sites bombed over the weekend by U.S. missiles.
My father lives in Tehran. Many of my cousins, most of my family is still in Iran.
Amid the U.S.'s involvement in the ongoing conflict between Iran and Israel, the Iranian Republic has cut off access to communication for Iranians like Dashti's family.
Are they safe? Was the explosion near their house? Or how are they doing? How are they coping? And we cannot reach them. Stop the attacks. Let the Iranian people reclaim their land.
Dashti released this YouTube video ahead of the air attacks, warning President Trump and Prime Minister Netanyahu of the impact bombing nuclear facilities in Iran would have on the infrastructure and livelihoods of innocent civilians, and the fears of radiation and contamination that could follow.
As much as I hate the Iranian regime, this is not the way to do it.
While Iranian Americans like Dashti await to see if a ceasefire will stick between Iran and Israel, Dashti hopes for lasting peace in the region and a path for her own people to establish a new government.
No foreign government has the power or responsibility to create a sustainable and permanent solution that is accepted by the people of Iran.
Dashti says her home in Tehran has about 16 million people living there. And unlike countries who may have sirens or warnings ahead of an airstrike, she says loved ones have been fearful, having no warning if or when the U.S. or Israel powers will strike. Michael and Karen.
Hopefully she will hear from her family here soon. Know they're okay. Gabby, thank you.